couple years roll by. Blink is now signed to MCA, which is a major label. Once again, they're looking to do a music video, this time for Dammit, which that's my favorite Blink song of all time. I mean, iconic. It's what got me into this band. They come right back to you to shoot this video. It's outside of a theater in Beverly Hills. I actually visited it last summer. I was in town, and I just drove by it, and I got out, took some pictures. I had to. What do you remember? Because the band is now, they have Dude Ranch. They're growing. They're now blink-182, name change. What do you recall about, getting back involved with them a couple years later?
Well, I'd seen them nonstop because I was still, we're in the same scene. We're at the same shows. I'm on the same tours with like Pennywise, and we're down in Tijuana doing shows, and we're over, like, we see each other and we're friends. And then I get the call and say, hey, we got to make another music video. I think M&M's, was like $5,000 or maybe $6,000. I forget which was kind of nice. It was like, woo, like $5,000. This is crazy. Like Cargo Records put some money into that. And so, but now it was like, hey, we have $30,000. I think it's like $25,000 or $30,000 to do a music video. And it was like, oh, and literally we got on the phone, I think, and it was the same conversation. Like, it'd be funny if there was like a pretty girl in it and we somehow get like beat up. It was the exact same, like literally that was every conversation. That was every, like, what if there was a girl and we got beat up or something, and ha 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 ha, and it was like, okay. And I kind of wrote up the idea and I think sent it to Rick DeVaughn. And again, the inside baseball is like, I'm talking to Rick DeVaughn. They've gotten signed to a major label, but there's no major, I don't talk to the record company at all. And so it's kind of the same thing. It was never a conversation like we should go bigger. It was like, well, if we have more money, let's, we can rent a movie theater. Okay. Yeah. And the whole thing's in a movie theater and a sound stage. And so that was kind of cool. We had some money, so we went to a big white cyc sound stage somewhere in, LA or Hollywood to shoot the band performance, right? So that felt bigger, right? It was like $5,000 to go on the sound stage. And with the look and the vibe, and I got to go a little more stylized on that, and slow motion, all the stuff I love, and it was like it was cool. It was like making a band look really, really cool. Then we went and did the storyline, and I can tell you plenty of stories from that night. But what's interesting is when we were editing the video, I get a call from Rick DeVaughn, and Rick says, dude, the song just exploded on K-Rock. And because remember, when we made the video, no one even from the record company came down. Nobody cared about this band.
Wow.
I mean, it's still just us spending somebody's money. There's no record company. And Rick says, they're trying to find where you're at now to come edit the video with you. And I'm like, wait, what? He's like, so don't tell them where you're at if they track you down. Like, just make the music video. I was like, oh, okay. But you have to understand, like, for a kid now, mid-20s, not a kid anymore, I'm in my mid-20s, you're a director. This punk thing is about to blow up. This is as close to being like Jason Bourne as I'm going to get. Like, this is like, now we're like making music videos that the record label's trying to get to, and now we're hiding, and we can't let the label get to us. And my phone starts blowing up. All these 213 numbers, 310 numbers, 818 numbers. Like, they're trying to find me to fix this. They have a hit song, and we have a hit song. We shot a video? Wait a minute. What's going on? Who shot the video? Like, what do you mean we shot a video? Like, well, where is it? It's got to go to MTV. MTV's asking for it, which I think is why they then called it Growing Up, right? That even Dammit wasn't allowed. I forget, but I was like, oh my goodness, like, we're hiding now. We're hiding out, making a music video. And I would just work directly with Rick DeVaughn and got the video to Rick. And thankfully there was such a quick time crunch. They had, they had to go to MTV. There was no time to put notes on it. It just went, and that was a literal overnight. I got in the car, put K-Rock on, and they played it 3 times from there and me getting home. Like, it was non-stop. Overnight, my friends were now on K-Rock. They were the #1 song, and you were like, oh wow, everything just changed. The record company's calling, and that video drops, and that was the equivalent then, because remember, directors' names are on the music videos. That's the equivalent of trending on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok times 10 back then. That was every single human being on the planet looking down and going, is that Darren Doane? For me, my side of that story, right? Yeah. It's also Blink exploding, but that is like, now your phone is blowing up. Now everyone you went to high school with is like, dude, Doane, what? Like, that overnight, everybody's life just literally just changes. Wow. And you can't even comprehend what that feels like. And then the next time I see them, they're making fart jokes.
Like, looking for burritos.
Looking for burritos, unaffected. Just, that's what I mean. The world went nuts. They just were so in their lane.
Did you guys shoot all the theater stuff in one night?
Yeah. It was like 9 to 3 a.m.
Where was the performance shot at, where they were actually playing?
Yeah, it was either in Hollywood or LA, one of the sound stages there. I'll remember the name of the actual place, but yeah, it was just, there's a couple major studios that have the big white Sykes and the big lights and all that. And it was just it was just, that felt big. And there was a green room there and makeup and all that. And we had all that. It was, it was like, hey, we're on like M&M's, the girls who were in the video were all models, and they brought their own makeup, and they ended up doing all the makeup for the guys.
So speaking of Rick DeVaughn, he has a little cameo in this video. And my understanding is originally he was just kind of the behind the counter popcorn guy. And the story goes, he was just so funny. And Mark and Tom just thought he was so funny and just kept saying, we have got to put more of him in this video. How did that work out?
Yeah, that's what I mean. With them, you are in the sandbox. You're just playing. And Rick put the outfit on, and he just started moving that way. And we were all laughing because he was like, how do I serve pup? And we were like, and we couldn't stop laughing at Rick. Like, he just looked so funny, and he just doing his thing. And it just was funny. And you can imagine if you think a fart noise sound is funny and that's enough for them, now you get Rick DeVaughn doing something that actually is funny, and they're like losing their mind, like, we got to do that. And there's a party that thinks we all think this is funny, but is anybody else going to think it's funny? But then that's what Blink did. They said, no, you come to our party. You come to our inside jokes. You're going to come here. When you get deeper on culture and brand and what they were building from a community standpoint, that's why their fans are so real and it's authentic. It never catered to anything except, we're throwing a party. If you want to hang out with us, this is how we have a good time. Yeah. And that's how they saw Rick DeVaughn. And yeah, it was like, that may have been the only note, which was just more Rick. It makes us laugh. Put more Rick in.
I love that. And that's, when I think of Blink, I think of good times. I mean, that's the best way for me to put it. I think of fun, time, hanging out, party, having fun, fart jokes, whatever. It's just, It's so great. And that's why they're so special to so many of us, all over the world, because no matter where you are, when you listen to that song or Dammit comes on, it takes you back to that time period and reminds you of just simpler, fun times, is the best way I can put it. That video has 73 million views, man. Is that not crazy?
Yeah, I mean, it is really crazy, especially because in the early days of YouTube, it was already that high. You know, now Post Malone gets that in an hour, right? When you think in terms of like view count, you know, but pre 2000, 2010, for something to have 30, 40, 50 million views, it's kind of hard to comprehend again how massive that is.